Alright, so this is going to be a video about how I schedule remediation and retesting for students. In the beginning of the year, students often ask, how would I go through the retesting if I do poorly on a test or a quiz, or if I just want to do better on a quiz or a test. So the steps are as follows. This is basically what I tell them. So the first thing they're supposed to do is on my website, so they'd go to my website and then they'd click in the availability link, which is right here. And once this opens up, so this opens up to this page right here, and it shows exactly the schedule for what I do on a daily basis. This is very general. It wouldn't have like private meetings or anything like this. I made a calendar that basically just shows, public what I would be doing publicly, and it's anyone can see this, and it has all the room numbers attached to it, so students know where I'm at all times in case they can't find me. It's all labeled on the calendar. Other things such as this one right here that's in blue, this wouldn't actually show up if you were viewing this calendar as a student because it's set to private. It's only showing up right now because I'm logged into my Google account. But I would have a general schedule so students know where I'm at each time, just in case they need to find me, or so they can see when I'm open certain times before school, after school, and so on. So they would check the availability first. Notice, okay, he's available after school at whatever time. So then they can make a scheduling for a remediation or a retesting for that day and time. Right. From there, once they pick that day and time, they would go to where it says students right here on my website, and there's a remediation/reassessment request form. So they click this, and this thing right here opens up, and it shows remediation reassessment request. It says be sure to check my availability before making an appointment. It's got a link to my availability, which is the same page that we were just on with the calendar. And this is a link to testing center information, just in case they are, they're new to the school, they don't understand how the testing center works. I have instructions on how to go about using the testing center. And then it says all requests must be completed 24 hours ahead of time. This is just kind of for my sake, so I can get things organized for each student. It automatically takes their name, so they don't have to actually write their name down when they're submitting the request. What would they like to remediate is the first question, just the name that's on PowerSchool, so it has to match, just so it's kind of clear to me what they want to remediate. And then it says, when would you like to remediate? And then remediate, relearn. If you already remediated, leave this part blank. So they can choose what they put in here if they already did remediate. But they would just pick the date, the time, or they can just click this right here to pick the date and time, and then they would just put something in here for the time. Just say they wanted it like 3 p.m. Right here, and it's just as easy as that. And then it says, where would you like to remediate? And then remediate again means to relearn the material, and just the many options that they can do. And then sometimes I allow them to do other if they need that. And it says, when would you like to reassess? So remediate are the first two questions, and then reassess are the next two. Same kind of process. Reassess equals to retest. They put their date and time in there, and then where would they like to do it? That's just kind of knowledge for me of where I need to put the test, or if it's going to be with me, I would just hold on to it. Then they would hit submit. Okay, that's what the students would do on their end. So they're doing that 24 hours in advance. From there, once they do this, I set it where I get a notification every time a student submits one of these things. So then I would get an email saying someone submitted a remediation/reassessment request. So that just kind of tells me that I need to go to the form responses for this Google form. So the form responses looks like this page right here. Now, I blacked out the names right here, so you can't actually see any of the names, but it's just the information that was on that previous Google form, this one right here. So the students submit, and then their name comes into this spreadsheet right here. I took the names out here, but it says, what would they like to remediate? That's the thing that was supposed to match PowerSchool's, the name of the PowerSchool, so what they want to remediate. Right here it says, when would you like to remediate? And when the students put those dates in, I have this programmed where it'll change colors based on whether it's 24 hours in advance or not. So if it's red, it's past. So I know I don't need to worry about these anymore. If it's blue, that means it's within 24 hours. So I'm recording this on the 16th, so it's saying, okay, get ready for this. This is just kind of a reminder for me. The green is what's coming up, so it's greater than 24 hours away. Right here, I added these little columns. It says REM 8 right here. It says remediation attendance, so just saying present or absent if they actually missed the remediation with me. I do strike throughs right here. If something's passed, or if I marked it right up here, I haven't dealt with these yet, so they don't have strike throughs through them. The same thing over here with the retesting attendance, whether they were absent or present for their actual retest. Now, if they are absent and I did put their test in the testing center, they can still take it another day, but this is just showing that they were absent the day that they were supposed to take it, which these 4 students elected to do. And this kind of just tells me, it's like, okay, should I be expecting their test? Did I get their test back from the testing center? In this case, for these 4, I haven't. Which happens sometimes. The students are busy in high school, so they forget to go after school. But this kind of reminds me that I need to contact them. Now, it's really easy to contact them because all I have to do is actually copy and paste their username right here. So their usernames would show up right here and their email addresses. So I would just copy and paste them into an email and then send the email right out saying, hey, you missed your reassessment date and time. Make sure you do that before the deadline for remediation is up. Your test is in the testing center. Let me know if you have any questions. So I would just send them a little email like that. And it's super easy to just copy and paste their email address right into the Gmail to send it to them. So that's what it would look like on my end, so I can kind of keep everything organized and know where everyone's at. The strike-throughs over here, meaning that I actually put their test in the testing center already, so I would still have to put these 3 in the testing center because I didn't put strike-throughs with them. From here, once I have the dates and times organized for me, I would write them into my calendar. So I'd go to my calendar, and if a student wants to meet with me on a certain day, I would add that to my calendar. I would say meeting. I usually just write it as a meeting, and then I would write the student's initials. So say their initials were the same as mine, and then whatever period. So say it was second period, and it just kind of tells me, it's like, okay, I have a meeting with Chris Ozarka from second period for remediation or for whatever the case is, and then I would put the time in there. And then sometimes I do invite the students through the Google Calendar, but sometimes students don't actually know how Google Calendar works, so they don't even check it. But it really depends on the student for that. So then I'll invite them to the meeting as well, just so they can kind of get a reminder email or notification that they have a meeting that day. So from there, that's basically how I schedule all my remediation and reassessments, just so I have everything organized. What's good about having them all in a spreadsheet like this is I can see how many people I've remediated. So in this case, I'm over 100 right here for how many people actually remediated, or actually 100 here, for how many people remediated, and I can also tell how many times each student did remediate, or if they ever came in from remediation or retesting, which is good to notify the parents if their grade's dropping, and kind of what they can do, what they can take advantage of with the reassessment and remediation. So if you have any questions on any of this or any suggestions, I'm always looking to kind of better my processes in the classroom. So if you have any recommendations or comments for this whole process, I'd love to hear them. So I really appreciate you watching this, and thank you.